Okay, recording this for future reference. This is a Leica VIOOH viewfinder. So in order to clean it up, you have to open up the whole thing. You can access most of it. There is a eyepiece here. There's the objective. There's a set of prisms inside that is all glued together, and you can held together with two screws. So what you need to do even to disassemble this thing is firstly, this lens, there's no way to get it out, right? Not easily unless you actually open this back up. If you remove these 4 screws, you can remove this, the eyepiece. Then there are 2 screws over here on the inside, which if you remove them, you will be able to remove the prism. And lastly, there'll be a kind of a retaining ring that you can remove. And when you remove the retaining ring, then this whole assembly can come off. If you want to get into the for any reason you want to get into the these bits, right, there is no reason to actually disassemble this unless you have some kind of mechanical problems. If it's just optical, you want to clean the optics, you do not really have to remove it, except when you want to take out this piece. All right, this piece is the frontmost piece, and you may want to remove this piece because there is the aperture or the framing is in between the back surface and the front of these lens, or the surface of this lens. So if you want to get at this particular lens, which is a two I believe it's 2 elements, one element at the front and one element at the back. Again, the lens is held together with the ring. So what you need to do is actually, after you remove this whole assembly, you have to remove this collar and this part, which is the frame selector. So in order to remove this, you have to remove these 2 small screws. Once you remove them, this piece becomes loose, right? And you can start turning. This one with all the markings will start to move around, but you cannot remove it, right? Because you are not able to spin it around to unscrew completely. That is in part because there is this little pin over here. I'm not sure whether you can see it. The pin over here, right, actually prevents, you can see it moving around, right? This pin actually is a stop for the frame selection, right? So it prevents it from going too far either way. But what happens is that in order for you to unscrew this, you have to take this whole assembly and unscrew it, which means that you have to then remove these 2 screws, because these 2 screws are actually engaged to the inside the frame selector. You remove this screw and this screw, they are pretty long. They'll engage a particular slot inside that then adjusts the size of the frame on the inside. So if you remove this screw and this screw, then you will be able to take this whole assembly and start unscrewing them off, right? And as they're unscrewing off, you will feel the these detents, right? They'll go click, 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 and then smooth again, and then click again. So if you were to remove this screw, which you practically never have to, what you end up doing is that you release a spring. There's a spring inside that helps you to get this detent, which is this clicky feeling, right? And if you remove it, what happens is that it will just not click anymore, right? Which is not so nice. So make sure that you don't remove this. And if you remove it, you cannot put it back in easily. You have to disassemble the whole thing to reassemble it. So don't remove this. As far as I can tell, there's no reason to remove this either. This is holds the two parts of this assembly. This looks like one whole assembly, but it's not. You can see this small brush area, which is where the markings are. It's actually separate. There's a line over here, right? It's separated from the front piece. The front piece is where the threads are, the brass threads are. So if you want to remove it, after you if you don't remove this, you can just unscrew the whole piece and the whole thing will come off, right? And when it comes off, then you will be able to access. There are some set screws over here that holds this objective in place. Once you remove those screws or loosen those screws, this entire piece, this cone will come off, and then you can undo the lenses. Right, the lenses is held together with a lens flat, like a threaded lens flange, I guess, lens holder, and you remove it, and then the flat side, the curved side, and then the inside of the front end of the objective. And all you need to do is to do some light cleaning, reassemble the whole thing, put this in, then take this piece and this piece, put them together and turn them to tighten. Make sure you make markings. For me, I make some markings over here so that I know how to line them up, right? Just make sure that you line up this screw and this screw with the slots on the inside. You line up this hole and this hole, right? And there are also corresponding holes in this piece, right? Make sure you line all of them up. There are another 2 registration holes over here, right, which you will find. So just make sure that all these holes, the 1, 2, the ones right below them, 3, 4, and then the ones further away, 5, 6. All 6 of them should be lined up in a straight line. And once you turn this, screw it on, then you have the front piece that you can assemble back in, lens wrench to turn and then tighten it, reassemble the prism. The prism can be gently wiped, right? And then after that, you can put the back cover on. This bottom assembly never has to come off, so you can just leave it as it is. Right, that's all.